Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut and I'm joined by Boria Mujumdar in Paris. Today is an important day for Team India. After losing out to Victor Axelsen, Lakshya Sen is going into a bronze medal match with his head held high. He is on the cusp of history. But Boria, going to you first. Like I said, a very, very important match for Lakshya Sen. He's the first to get to the semi-finals, first to probably win a medal for India when it comes to male badminton players. This is going to be very important, and it's all about soaking in the pressure today.
Where is your jersey? You should have worn that jersey. Just wear
I
that
will
jersey.
wear it. I will wear it for the match.
Everybody do not change. Do not change. Yes, Lakshya Sen's date with history today. The way he is playing, Gargi, if he continues to play in that same manner against Lee Zijia, I have tweeted this yesterday. I told you this. He's meddling because he pushed Victor, and had it been a little here, had a little more experience, he would have clinched that first game. But the point is that's history now, and like I told him in the mixed zone, and he agreed, it's gone. Whatever he has done with Victor or with Jonathan Christie or with anybody for that matter, Pronoy or Chauti and Chen, doesn't matter. It's that one match that will possibly define Lakshya Sen going forward. He could well become Indian badminton's biggest brand if he wins today, overcoming PV Sindhu or close to PV Sindhu, close to Satwik and Chirag. All of a sudden, Lakshya Sen will become the benchmark. These matches can do that kind of a thing for you. You are on the cusp of an Olympic medal. All he needs to do is continue in the same vein that he has. If he plays at that level, he will beat Lee Zijia. He goes in with a 4-1 head to head. He goes in with a 4-1 head to head. He came back, if you remember, at the All England, he came back and he beat Lee Zijia in 3 games in the quarterfinal. It was 21-19 in the last game. He lost the first 22-20. He came back and he won the next two. So against Lee Zijia, he has that head to head. There is every reason to believe that Lakshya Sen will medal today. Fingers crossed for him. Prakash and Vimal, I'm sure, will work on him. Prakash sir and Vimal will get him back into shape physically and mentally. And there's whole of India backing him. Reason to believe Lakshya will medal today.
Yeah, we've got a comment here. I don't know why Saurav is, being angry at me like he's my boss, but he's telling me, Gargi, be ready to respect deadlines. You're late.
No, but we weren't. I thought we started bang 7:30. I mean, Kannan joined straight up within a minute. We were. I don't think we were late anyway. I mean, good to
No,
see the
one or
kind
two
of
minutes is
initiative.
fine. 1 or 2 minutes is fine.
And
It's
we
not like we
weren't
were
a
late
minute
by
late.
half an hour.
No, we weren't. I mean, I don't think we were late
Oh, you were
because
not.
both Gargi and I started 7:30. Uh, because it says 3 minutes 26 seconds, 27 seconds on the clock, right? And see, it's 7:34. So we were
Yeah.
25 seconds late. There you go. Check the thing. So I don't think we were late. Anyway, good to see this kind of viewership that you're
Anyway,
pushing us. That's appreciable.
I will say sorry if I was late. I was stuck in a lift because my Wi-Fi was disrupted. Sorry.
No, it's all right. We're just joking around. But Pradipta Bhattacharya is saying we need a medal today, need to set the tone for the rest of the week. All the best to Lakshya. Kanan, is there any chance of further medal from shooting? But answer that and talk about Lakshya as well.
No, shooting, there is no medal chance because today the mixed kit is there. I don't think Anandjeet Singh Naruka and Maheshwari Chauhan, I think, she was crying yesterday. I met her after the match. She was crying with the coach, and the coach told her that, listen, this is your first Olympics, and you came to the final. Just that last series you did badly, so don't cry. So because I know her personally, we did about 3 interviews on her when she qualified for Paris. We did 3 stories. I'm saying we because it is ours. We owned her up because nobody even knew who she was. Because I know her from the LSR college days. I know the whole background. So I told her, the champions, I mean, still use the word champions, Abhinav Bindra and Gagan. They needed a third Olympics to get an Olympic medal. This is just your first. And you're still somewhere below 25, 26. Your family is supporting you. 12 years you've shot with entire funding from your family, husband, in-laws. Amount of crores of money, personal coach. Much later, tops funding has come. That's very limited. You can't even calculate how many crores they've spent on travel, ammunition, training in Italy and all that. So I don't see a medal coming further. But yes, from zero in 2016 and Tokyo to three here, I'm quite happy about it. Couple of fourth place finishes, we cannot discount it. And later in the day, we will have some shooting video also coming up. I don't want to talk about it now. Please stay tuned. But yes, as discussed by Boria and you, Lakshya is going to set the tone for the day, for the week, for another 4 5 medals. I'm still hopeful of at least a total of 8 to 9 medals. Lakshya's medal is important to us. It is going to be very important because 2012, Sena, 2016, then Tokyo. Lakshya won't return empty-handed. He's going to go. What I like is his physicality. He's not afraid. I've seen his entire range of body movement. People talk of 360-degree batting, but this guy's movement is like 360-degree. We talk of a gyroscope rotating on various axes, but if you see his feet, you see his body movement. Nowhere is he looking, one bit tired or jagged. He's playing that kind of this thing. Intense, I think as Boria said, the effort which has been put in, as far as Sindhu goes, she came to Prakash fairly late. She's been first with Gopi's Academy. Then in Tokyo, she was with Park, Korean coach. Then she shifted. Lakshya has stayed here. He knows them. And the two champions, Prakash is a legend. I'm lucky I saw him. He used to play badminton in Delhi, in the South Delhi open lawn court, come for sparring with Vikram Brisht, who's a husband of legend Madhumita Brisht, Partho, all those people used to be there. So that's the kind of training which Lakshya has got. And Vimal is also a very shrewd coach, Don't forget it. He's sound.
Yeah, but Kanan, one point, last year Lakshya was actually sort of with Anup, if you remember, and he wasn't getting the results. So what he did was he actually went back to Prakash.
Yeah.
Prakash, Vimal, and Lakshya sat down. This was in September, October, and they said this is not working. And Lakshya said, I want Vimal to travel again. I don't want to be with Anup because it's not working. No, this thing for Anup. No disrespect at all.
No.
This is not working. So I want to change coaches. I want Prakash to be more hands-on. I want Vimal to start traveling with me, and this will make the change. So they actually sat him down, asked him what he wanted, and thereafter the whole change happened. That's how this Lakshya came through. And from January, the entire change, because Indian Open, which you all covered, that's when the penny dropped on him that it's going away from me. And after that, the kind of intense training in France where he trained, the kind of effort Prakash and Vimal put in behind him, absolutely stunning to see.
Yeah, Vimal, I think, has been outstanding. We will go back to, sorry, I'll finish with this. 2014, before the Incheon Asian Games, Saina Nehwal decided that she was not doing well in Hyderabad. She shifted base to Bangalore. She again went. So Prakash has become like the divine altar where you go and stand. You pray, you seek obeisance, and then you get guided. And that has worked. It has worked with Saina Nehwal, for the Asian Games. Vimal traveled with her. And now you have with Lakshya. So I think this medal has to come today. And look at those photos. Look at that photos. What all he's doing. Look at his eye, where he's always got his eye. I think every motion of his is pointing towards a medal, and I think he will go for it. Sometimes you get that gut feel, and that gut feel today says that Lakshya Sen is winning the medal.
Before I go to Abhijit on Lakshya Sen, Ananya here is asking any update on the plea filed by the hockey team.
Yeah, we've put it out. Look at the official communication which we have tweeted. The ban has been upheld. The ban has been upheld by the tournament director. But India has further appealed. We broke the story last evening itself around 8:30 that the ban had been upheld. The hearing happened at 7 p.m. Shivendra was there from the Indian team. The technical coach was there. But the ban was upheld by the tournament director for one match, which means India will go in with a squad of 15, not 16, in the semi-final. Amit Rohidas will have to sit out. But India has further appealed it to the appeals jury. Now, there are two options here. One, the appeals jury upholds the ban. Second, the appeals jury revokes the ban and gives it in favor of India. By the way, the tournament director now, and this was told to me by Arumugam, the tournament director now was, if you watch Chuck Day India, he was the Australian coach there. So that's the tournament director for Paris. So that's the information that I can give you. In Chuck Day India, he was coach of Australia, and funnily enough, 5 Indians were suspended there. Anyway, that's a joke. But the fact of the matter is, the final appeal is pending. The moment we get an outcome on the final appeal, we will let you know. But we broke the story last night, and that's the reality now. One match ban.
No, but I am also going to mention that we should not forget who is the FIH president. He's from Pakistan. I don't think he's going to be kind to India.
Um, Abhijit, over to you now. Lakshya Sen on the cusp of history. How are you feeling about his chances for a medal? There was this comment that I was looking at, and it said that he's no less than Axel Sen, and he deserves this medal. And every
Yep.
like Kanan said, every movement of his is pointing towards a medal.
I mean, already he has created history. The first Indian male shuttler to reach the semis in the history of Olympics. And then I think the first game yesterday was with Victor was excellent. And the way he played yesterday, if he continues the same momentum today, I think medal aega. He can take down the Malaysian Lizzy. I think aa sakta hai, and he's on a roll. Uh, I spoke to Lakshya's parents, and they told me how, since the age 2 they were taking him to play, badminton, and how his journey has been. They spoke about how his grandfather was also a badminton player. He got it from his genes, playing this. And there was so much of emotions when they were saying, like, when he was a child and when he was trailing in a match, he used to cry and then he used to fight. Now he has stopped crying, but if he's trailing, he give out everything. And that's what about Lakshya is. And I think this is probably, you know uh, I have actually no words, because to see Lakshya, I've seen him playing at the Commonwealth Games where he won the gold medal, and whenever there's a medal match, he gives his 100%. Today will be the same as yesterday. We all saw he really gave his best, but Victor is Victor, one of the greatest of badminton after Linden, I would say. Uh, but today, yeah, I think he has a very good chance again. Lacey. What I really liked about the his family, his parents, and even his brother Chirag is also here. So they are in Paris for last 1 month. Her mother, and I mean, he's staying in village. Her mother, his mother, his father, and his brother is staying outside near to the village. They have taken an apartment. The- Her mother, his mother cooks the food and they give it to him every day, because there's a mother touch. घर का बना हुआ खाना, we can say, and then it's probably the best, and that is another thing that has gave Lakshya to reach the semis and probably medal. So the family plays a huge role in the success of every athlete, and even it's not just you don't do it earlier, even at the Olympics. What you do, that makes a lot of difference. And I think his family being here and being there has helped a lot, Lakshya.
Absolutely, and we have a super chat here. Ananya is asking, these instances of unfairness happening with India is very off-putting. The boxing result, then the issues in hockey match, the tab, the red card. Boria, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I
Abhijit,
mean, the Nishant result hurts. The Nishant result, I keep saying this. He should have won the first 2 rounds. I was stunned. Again, let me put this in perspective in a minute. There was a standing count against Nishant in the first round. When there was a standing count, I thought it was against him, because if you get by the way, the referee was, according to me, the referee was wrong in giving the standing count. because there was nothing to give a standing count. But when he gave Nishant the standing count, I was taken aback. But when you give a standing count, it actually sort of reflects in the scores. They did not. And it was a 4-1 verdict for Nishant in round one. And I told Trisha and Rohan, who was sitting next to me, I said, this bout is done. If you get a 4-1 verdict in your favor in a round despite a standing count, your job is done. Second round, I thought was all Nishant. I thought it was beyond the Mexican. If he had a second round 4-1, which should have been the case, it was done. It was absolutely done. Rather, it was 3-2 against Nishant in the second round. It was shocking. That second round was utter rubbish. It could not have gone against Nishant, that second round. If you go check the first round, look at the punches. And I was reading Taylor Higgins yesterday, one of my favorite boxing analysts. Read Taylor Higgins, and he's explained it beautifully. That if you've given the first round to Nishant, you've got to give the second round to Nishant. Third round, I accept. He was tired, he lacked stamina, and I've said this multiple times on air. But the first two rounds should have clinched the bout. The first two rounds should have closed it. It was unfair, not daylight robbery or anything like that. It was a close bout. But Nishant has every reason to believe that it was unfair, and it is putting a black mark on boxing, boss. There's no question. Will the sport be there? Look at this whole gender issue. It has completely blown it. It's still continuing. Yesterday, Iman Khalif won again, and it has again come to the fore that two men coming and competing in the women's field, etc., etc. We are not taking a position on this, but the sport has been tarnished. It is quote unquote being questioned, the ethicality and fair play. And unless all of these issues get sorted, I don't see boxing in LA, and that's a big thing. IBA versus excuse me, IBA versus IOC has to be sorted. The future of the sport is big time in doubt, and you don't want that to happen because boxing is a big pedigreed sport.
Yep.
You don't want that to happen to a sport.
I spoke to Lavlina yesterday after her mix zone, after a match in the mix zone, and I asked her this: like, do you think this is a problem? Because we see Nishan Dev's match was there, and she was also surprised that she said Nishan, we thought like he would have won, and I asked her because yesterday's match also was very close against her Chinese opponent. She said, for me it was okay. For me, I can understand. I gave my best. Because her match also was a split decision. But she said about Nishan Dev, like, everyone was expecting her to win because, and when such a boxer who has won an Olympic medal says this, it means there's really, really big issues in the judging thing of boxing. And I asked her, like, do you think, with all this thing, maybe boxing will not be at LA? And she had, no answer because when you played two Olympics, you've gained, everything in your life by Olympics, by boxing. And if the sport is not there, there was a bit of disappointment on her face because if boxing is not at the Olympics, it's very, you played for your whole life for that. And if it's not at the Olympics, it's extremely disappointed for the boxers.
Kage, I'll quickly add, we are talking about boxing not being there in LA 28 possibly. Yesterday, I was attending a press conference of ISSF, the International Shooting Federation, Luciano Rossi. In fact, he saw me and came to me since I was an Indian. He gave me a mascot. And, he was asked a question about impact of India winning medals. And he said, India is very important, in shooting, for global shooting. China is important. And he said for India to win medals is big. And looking at LA 2028, they're already working how it can be made even tighter. Maximum 15 events he's talking about. And, there were some complaints that here the event was held very far away from Paris. But in LA, they'll hold it inside. Even they are fighting. So each sport is fighting for its survival, how it can become faster, how it can become more TV friendly. And this is not what I am saying. This is from Rossi, the ISSF president. He has a huge following, but he mentioned India, how India is important and how Indians performing is important. So they will take these factors also into account because he was shown figures by IOC, social media presence of shooting is way down. How to maximize it and how that is the work being done for ISSF TV. For example, Manu Bakar was taken to the ISSF house in Chartreux, interviewed. Olympic Channel TV is doing it. So this is the kind of effort which has to go in for every sport. Shooting is clean, every card, every shot, everything. If a clear target is being busted, you see it. But in boxing, there is this element where you don't know. It seems like a very strong bias, and that is the unfortunate part. Even in hockey, you get to see the referral. Tennis, you're seeing the referral, the ball where it is landing. Then and there, the umpire referee is getting exposed. But in boxing, they are getting away with daylight robbery. That cannot happen. If they don't change it, I will not be surprised if boxing is removed from the program. Something has to be done very drastically, radically sensational for it to become important. Otherwise, there are many sport knocking on the door to enter LA 2028. This has been mentioned by Bore also before. And once you come and talk to people here, you understand how difficult it is. And for India to return without a medal from Paris in boxing, very disheartening.
Let me add to that. Shooting will survive in LA because of India.
Yes.
Because and let's be blunt about it. Because the global south will increase that consumption. Today, if you check social media figures, go check Manu Bhakar, and you will see every other shooter will be here, and Manu Bhakar's shooting this thing will be here. Because the consumption is there from global south, India. Because the Indian consumption will make sure that shooting becomes viable. That's where the money is. They will check the popularity charts. They will check every data. They will check all of this. And they'll say, Are, this is where the boost is. India wins, boom. Exactly like cricket. Shooting or cricket in LA or any other sport, India will give the boost. Because the consumption, even if it is 0% in India, 0.5%, the volume of that 0.5% is enormous. That's why I told yesterday that it's not certain yet. None of this is certain yet because there is a flux going on. But I think India, because of the 3 medals that India has won, shooting will get through. Boxing might not. Because India will now, because Ajay was originally with that Russian lobby, IBA. And there has been an issue with Indian boxing, or rather the federation being sort of tilting towards one lobby. So it's not seriously clear yet. There's a question about Amit Rohidas being a drag flicker. No, he's not a drag flicker. He's actually the first rusher. So you must understand the difference between a drag flicker and a first rusher. Drag flicker is Harmanpreet Singh. He's your drag flicker, one of them. Amit Rohidas is a first. What does he do? Amit Rohidas, if you see during a penalty corner, he's the first one to run out and stop the ball. That is why he's so critical. And by the way, Srijesh is gone, no question. But Srijesh still has all the equipment to sort of protect himself. Amit doesn't. And you have to have enormous amount of ability to judge where the ball is being hit and run like that to stop a penalty corner. In this Olympic Games, the first rushers have been sensational. That is where India will miss Amit against Germany, because Germany has that Pelat guy who used to play for Argentina and is now playing for Germany. That chap scored for Argentina during that Rio 2016 gold medal contest. Now he's moved to Germany. India will have to deal with that chap in penalty corners, and that's where Amit will become critical.
We had Amit in our Trailblazers this year, and we spoke at it to him outlet. So do watch his interviews. We have that on our YouTube channel, and he's a fantastic guy. As Boreda mentioned, he's very fearless. Going without an helmet or any protective gadgets, the ball it comes with such a huge speed. You can't even. We have seen players getting injured.
Abhijit, he can die. Anybody, I mean,
Yeah,
people who don't know the sport,
You're,
people can
you're
die.
forgetting you're forgetting one defender lost his eye. He underwent 6 eye operations in the AIMS
Exactly.
Delhi.
Yuvraj.
that was with the golf
I
ball,
mean,
right? He
but
was
but but
practicing with the golf
this
ball.
guy, this
Yeah, that is
guy,
what practice session involves, golf ball
those
simulation,
people
the
can
speed.
die.
Yeah.
It's that
Absolutely,
serious. It is that difficult. So a
it's
first
extremely
rusher.
difficult.
मैं तो अमित से पूछा था, इनफैक्ट वो हमारा ट्रेल ब्लेजर्स का पहला दिन का डिनर में, ऐसे तेरे को डर नहीं लगता है? And वो खड़ा होकर बोलता है नहीं दादा डर वर कुछ नहीं लगता है. I mean, he's one of those kind of crazy, fearless.
Fearless.
Also, he interviewed Gargi. Remember when he came to that ground in Bangalore,
Yes.
the side ground, when he and Harman was there, and he was laughing and laughing when me and Trisha were there. He's an incredible chap.
Yeah.
He's थोड़ा silent है, but on the field he is killer. उसके ऐसा I think he's perhaps one of the best defender I've seen in my entire life. undoubtedly fearless, and then the way he defends. Oof. And I think it's going to play a big role if he's not there against Germany. But let's hope for the best.
I think I would suggest, you look at the other important events ahead. Hockey obviously is there, but I think we need to look
Yeah,
at wrestling,
Avinash.
weightlifting, and track and field, because everyone is asking about that also.
Today we have
Yes,
Nisha.
yes.
Yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
just getting
that's right. Quickly, Kannan, give a in a minute, give a lowdown on that. But we should also mention the women's table tennis today. Because
yes.
against Romania, higher ranked seed, and that's today because we are doing daily things. So because athletics today we don't have that kind of a participation, hence we did not dwell. But we have Nisha Dahiya in wrestling, 68 kilograms. We have Manika and Shrija and Archana Kamath in table tennis. And if Manika and Shrija play at their best against Romania, they might just surprise Romania.
Definitely, I think table tennis has already exceeded expectations, especially when you look at Manika, the kind of example she's setting as a role model. People said she looks like a model. No, she's not a model. She's not into modeling. She's a role model. She's shown by performance. Maybe Sharat Kamal did not peak, but Manika has done. Table tennis is very important. These are sports which are going to be there. These are sports which we are still developing. You look at the racket sport, you look at table tennis, obviously, squash is also going to be there very soon. It's very important. So yes, table tennis result is important. But moving ahead, we are going to move into the last phase. Weightlifting is important. Wrestling is important. Everybody is asking what is going to be the result from Neeraj Chopra. मेडल आएगा कि नहीं आएगा? मैंने कहा हाँ मेडल आएगा. मीरा भाई चानू का मेडल आएगा, हाँ मेडल आएगा. But you are looking at, why are you not looking at Avinash Sable? Can he do something? Hoping we can do something. So these last few set of medals, wrestling can surprise you. I don't think, if someone is saying that Vinesh Fogart is not a serious campaigner, I'm shocked. I think there's a whole bunch over there. Don't talk about controversy, but talk about performance and qualifying and coming here. I think they've worked very hard to come here, the wrestlers, and athletics also. We've got so many number of entrants over there. You never know how many people had predicted that in athletics we're going to get a gold in Tokyo.
I, I,
People,
I'm saying, I know we've got to finish. I'm putting this on record. Watch out for Ritika Huda. Watch out for Ritika Huda in the 76
definitely,
kilograms.
Ritika Houda is very strong.
You know, I do one thing. I see the field and I see, okay, Gargi is our wrestler in the 50 kilograms. How many of the field has Gargi beaten when she's coming in here? Ritika Huda has beaten 6 of her field when she's coming in here and lost to 1. That's how I do my research. Ritika Huda in the 76 kilos, and there is no firm favorite. Watch out for Ritika Huda on form. Vinesh Fogart, I don't think Vinesh Fogart also knows what she's capable of. She's one of those enigmas. Vinesh Fogart can do anything in the world. So forget the controversy. The fact that Vinesh Fogart has managed to come here, she's already achieved everything. Boss, give it to her. 50 kilograms. कभी 50 kilograms में नहीं लड़ा यार उसने. जब लास्ट टाइम उसने वर्ल्ड में मेडल किया, वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में, मैंने उसको पूछा, शी सेड सर मैं जब दोहा से, एंड फर्स्ट डे, बाय रिमेंबर शी वन द मेडल इन द रेपचार्ज. फर्स्ट डे शी हैड लॉस्ट एंड शी सेड सर इतना गाली पड़ा, मैं तो दोहा होकर जा रही थी. आई थिंक इट वाज इन, अभिजीत यू वर देयर, इट वाज इन सर्बिया राइट, लास्ट ईयर.
No, I wasn't there.
वो सितंबर में कहाँ हुआ था? सर्बिया में हुआ
Serbia
था.
में World Championship हुआ, but Vinesh didn't play there.
No,
Antim
no, she
played there
played the
because
qualifier. She played the
Antim गिफ्ट जा रही
qualifier.
थी Vinesh.
No.
Antim
She
played
won
the
a,
World
she won,
Championship.
यार she won a medal. Where did she win the medal? बताओ. She won a medal in
I,
the worlds.
in 2022, I think she won in
No,
some
2023 she
Kazakhstan.
did not win. 23 even
In
Asian Games she
20,
did
Commonwealth
not
she
win.
won, and then
yeah,
she
I think
and
in
Bajrang both
Kazakhstan it
won
was
in which year? Together, 22.
22, yeah.
22. So
Kazakhstan, I guess.
after that win, I was just chatting with her, and she said, "Sir, मैं दोहा होकर जा रही थी, उस दिन पीरियड हो गया, तो मैंने मेरा बॉडी में इतना पेन था, मैंने कुछ खाया नहीं, मैं 2 दिन से नहीं खाया, वहां जाके वेट देना पड़ा, so automatic dehydration plus the pain plus the biological." So I was just listening to her and trying to understand कि what goes through the athlete's body. किसी को ये सब पता ही नहीं है, हम तो गाली देने वाले हैं. विनेश फोगाट फर्स्ट राउंड हार गया. And that is what happened. She had lost in the first round, comes back and wins the repechage, and the whole country started talking about her. And उसने यही कहा कि हम तो खाली जीत के बारे में बात करेंगे, बाकी कुछ तो समझेंगे ही नहीं. So Vinesh Fogart can surprise anyone, but it's a very tough draw. So if you ask me, realistically, Antim Pangal, 1, Ritika Huda 2, Aman Sherawat 3, Vinesh Fogart 4, in that order. Nisha Dahiya, fingers crossed. I hope she gets through, but it's a very tough draw. In By the way, in wrestling, the draw happens the night before.
Yep.
So for Nisha, it happened yesterday. That
Yesterday.
is a very tough draw. If you check that draw, uh, very difficult. Let's put it that way. Very difficult for Nisha Dahiya.
But I don't think we've spoken about Avinash Sable. We're going to see him today. Abhijit, a
We have
lot of
so
people are
many.
asking.
Yesterday, I
I
went
mean,
to the Djokovic Alcaraz match as well. Finally, it was
yeah.
a cracker of a game. What
Oh,
a I mean, legend Djokovic is. Um, I was there at the press conference as well, and I asked him, you won 24 slams, you won Davis Cup, and where do you rate this gold medal? He said it's at the top of the top because
And
to
then,
win.
and then, by the way, the entire press who was there at the press
Yeah,
conference was called on stage to take a photo with Djokovic. And if you go check that photo, Abhijit is just behind Djokovic and trying to peek like this. So that is the photo of Abhijit's life. Check that picture; it's a beautiful picture. So Abhijit is standing right behind Novak, right behind, and he's peeking like this. So that's Abhijit. But Kanan, I think we've got to finish closer with Avinash Sable. Somebody Gargi has interviewed multiple times as well.
I think Avinash Sable, nobody's talking about him. He's flying below the radar, and I would like to see him fly in Paris on the track. That will be the perfect ending.
Okay, let me just put Avinash in perspective. Don't expect a medal. It's not going to happen, and unless there is a miracle. But expect a sub 810. If the tactical race works well for Avinash Sable and he does a sub 810, it will be an extraordinary performance like he had done in the Diamond League. So if Avinash is able to get that timing right, it can be a race that India will be reasonably proud of. Parul Chaudhary, season's best. That's what we look at. Parul Chaudhary, people will come and say, "अरे Parul Chaudhary तो 13th हो गया." ऐसे मत देखो. Parul Chaudhary in both her races have done a season's best. That is what you should look for in an athlete when in athletics when you're competing at the Olympic Games.
I think if Avinash Sable finishes in top 7, top 6, it's as good as a medal because it's extremely hard. I mean, you see the long distance runner from Africa. It's very difficult. I mean, Avinash Sable has won silver medal in Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, where the Kenyan long distance runner were there. But at the Olympics, it's difficult. But for sure, I'm expecting like a good run and somewhere in top 8 at least, a good position.
I
yep.
think we need to shift to the Hindi.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Please talk about golf also. Someone's asking. Has
No
anyone been
golf. No
following?
golf.
I don't think so.
I don't think
You're
we are
on mute.
anywhere right. We are not there in golf really. We've not done
Yeah.
well. And the men certainly have not done well, but can't complain because the field is fantastic. I think there's no point talking about golf. It's history now.
Yep. Well, thank you so
Yes,
much, everyone.
somebody is saying about Lalita Babar. Absolutely, Lalita Babar. And by the way, let's finish off with that in a minute. Kanan, आप हिंदी ज्वाइन कर लो बिकॉज शुभाई नहीं तो अकेला पड़ जाएगा. मैं इसको खत्म करता हूँ. अभिजीत आप भी ज्वाइन कर लो. मैं गार्गी के साथ खत्म कर देता हूँ. But that one race Gargi of the 100 meters. Oh, Noah Lyles, Kishane Thompson, all the competitors finishing under sub 10. I have never seen that happen. I kept watching it multiple times on replay. I still couldn't figure out who has won. Noah Lyles 9.784, Thompson 9.789. Oh, it is not even a millionth of a second. It was that close, that 100-meter dash. What a race that was. I thought the Jamaican had won, but then it went to the American.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we should take our leave now. Should we take a final few questions? Yeah. Soumya Jyoti is saying, don't you think Indian sports person lack mental toughness when it comes to high pressure events like Olympics? Deepika losing to Teen Korean or Sachi being losing in the quarterfinals being some examples.
So, what do you think of Great Britain yesterday, losing the shootout against
Yeah.
yesterday and not scoring in 43 minutes? Great Britain lacks mental toughness. What do you think of Iga Swiatek losing in tennis? What do you think of Carlos Alcaraz losing to Novak Djokovic? Lacks mental toughness. What do you think of? I can keep naming. I can keep naming. What do you think of so many number ones who have Tai Tzu Ying losing in badminton? Did you think lacks mental toughness? Do you think Shi Yuqi, the Chinese, losing to Kunwalut Wittidsan, number one seed in badminton, in his draw, Kunwalut Wittidsan is in the final, lacks mental toughness? So anyone who's a number one seed or one of the favorites loses lacks mental toughness. So then tell me, Australia has lost in hockey, mental toughness. Belgium has lost in hockey. Last Olympic gold medalist, silver medalist lacks mental toughness. So anybody who loses in sport will lack mental toughness, is it? The Korean archer lost to Alison Brady in the quarterfinals yesterday. Go check. The Korean archer, and by the way, Korean archer lost to Alison Brady in the quarterfinals yesterday. The American was shooting tenner after tenner. Lacks mental toughness. It is so easy to say so and so lacks mental toughness. What mental toughness are we talking about? For Satwik Chirag, the All England is as important, or the French Open is as important. Yes, Olympics, but that match, anything could have happened. It wasn't India's day. Did not go India's way. Fine, but lacks mental toughness. Where is this coming from? One defeat means lacks mental toughness. Doesn't happen like that. Just doesn't happen like that.
Well, yeah, I think we should take our leave from this show. We've got a lot to see today. Lakshya Sen, especially, I'll be wearing my special jersey to support him. But thank you so much, Boria, and everyone who's watching for watching. Keep supporting us like this, and always